I'm right now studying this risk management.
Okay.
And this is my case. If you want to know, I can explain it to you about this company.
Oh, I want to know about that.
Maybe I can tell you about the brief story of this company. So basically, it's a Statoil company. It's based in Stavanger, Norway. Emerged as a leading global oil and gas producer during the Norwegian oil boom, securing its position as the largest producer on the Norwegian continental, going public in 2001 with the Norwegian state retaining a 67% stake. And the company shifted its focus to upstream activities. In 1999, led by Peter Skapstad, Statoil implemented enterprises risk management, justifying it economically by revealing inefficiency and costs in financial transactions. The risk committee, formed in 1999 and chaired by the SVO, advised on risk issues. The risk departments established in around 2000s and led by Capstone developed a consolidated risk model and methodology. Statoil RM initiatives include an enterprise-wide risk mapping process in 2005, something like that.
Oh, like that. Oh, by the way, I already learned about that, but I learned about the ERM Foundation. I will tell you about
Oh.
that. Let's see.
Sound interesting, you know.
Right. Statoil doesn't want to implement the RM blueprint only, but they want to make some framework that makes sense to them. And they want to that centered on the two basic goals of the company. First is to create the value and then to avoid the accidents. Keeping people and environment safe are the first priority. Risks are to manage it in a way that maximizes the value of the company. Then the Statoil managed risk is based on the philosophy. The philosophy is like risks shall be identified and analyzed, including both upside and downside impact. The Statoil philosophy recognizes that risk taking is unavoidable, even necessary to create a value for shareholders. Reflecting to this philosophy, the risk map of Statoil have been developed to show probability and impact not only for downside but upside too. Like I mentioned earlier, the basic foundation of this RM Statoil is to create value, and this value is demonstrated in value chain. This value chain have three basic main states. The first is exploration and development of oil and gas reserve, and then refinement of hydrocarbons into various petroleum products, and then is selling the crude oil and other oil to the market. By sorting the risk into a value chain, we can identify the risk and get a picture of the risk in the company. That's what I learned in this chapter.
Oh my god, so interesting, you know.
Oh, do you want to know about more about the Statoil company?
Of course.
Let's see.
So, how is the ERM process is applied in Statoil today? Let's learn. So, there are some tasks that executives need to address at Statoil for ERM to work in practice so that its potential benefit can be realized. Their first two tasks that needs to be done are: first, making sure there are adequate process in place for managing risk throughout the organizations. Second, acting as a support function for the business units. In ERM, there is this thing called the risk mapping process, which is the process of identifying, mitigating, and reporting risk. In Statoil, the risk mapping process is done quarterly or every 3 months in a year. This process is which the business units are required to update their risk maps. The units are expected to provide discussions and justification for their assumptions and explain what their policies of each main risk is. And the next step is providing written justifications and actually meeting with the representative of the top management and the risk department. They meet with the top management to discuss the status with regard to the major risk. So this is a good way to ensure that the quality output of this process is ensured. This process is useful because business unit is expected to respond well to their estimate of risk. So what is the next process? Let's learn. So the next process of ERM in Statoil is the risk department writes a brief in response to the business unit's risk maps, which is sent to the executive management. And then the board of directors is briefed on the risk profile on a quarterly basis. They receive a condensed version of the risk map prepared by the risk department. The risk department first supervise the risk mapping process. Second, they provide a support to the business areas and help spread best practice. And last but not least, they have expertise and resources to assist business units in multiple ways like advices and suggestions. So guys, now let's talk about optimizing total risk. In Statoil, avoiding suboptimal decision is also known as optimizing total risk. Optimization of total risk has been carried out persistently by the ERM team with several tangible benefits for the company. ERM in Statoil implies that it is the perspective of the company as a whole that should rule in practical situations, not individual or business units perspective. An example of this process is potential sub-optimization concerns, the hedging of oil and gas exposure. If the business plan had assumed an oil price of $100 and it later climbed up to $115, the unit could use a derivative contract to lock in this level, which ensured it would meet the target and could collect a bonus for the year. These mandates have been gradually reined in and subjected to strict limits set centrally in the organization.
So now I will explain total risk optimization. That what are we already learned from what total risk optimizing. Optimizing total risk sounds simple in principle, but it's actually not as simple as it was said. In reality, optimizing total risk is not so easily to achieve. There's a key to this. There's a key to achieve this. The key is that the that established way to doing things. So, how does Statoil succeed in make the IRM mindset take a root? There's some factors. The first factor is Statoil succeed is due to carefully designing KPI, or as known as key performance indicators, and balanced scorecard. In making in part of employee job description to consider Statoil net benefit and taking the time upfront to articulate the rationale behind IRM actions. The establishment of a strong risk commitment in emphasis, which function as a guardian of Statoil interest in risk-related matters. This committee acts as an effective IRM filter, ensuring policies are aligned with overall objectives and conducting stress testing of performance targets. Key factors of the risk committee success include unwavering support from key executives and engaging agenda with educational content, and maintaining in status as a specialist forum rather than integrating in with top management.
So overall learning is the successful IRM implementation requires a combination of strategic alignment, cultural change, and strong leadership support. The next part is risk aggression and the frontiers.
Okay, the Statoil's approach to enterprise risk management or ERM dynamic and continuously evolving. They challenge decision makers to rethink their perspective, pushing the frontiers into the two case areas. The firstly is in the risk aggregation. Statoil transforms static risk maps into dynamic indicators, considering interdependency between risks. Traditional risk maps often fall short in the providing a comprehensive estimates of overall uncertainty in financial performance. Statoil introduced the enterprise risk budgeting or ERB approach to integrating the risk register with financial planning and generate insightful risk-adjusted forecasts. The risk models exemplifies this in combining various risks into probability distributions for key metrics like earnings. The secondly in the pushing frontiers. The Statoil's philosophy in to never consider the job done, constantly challenging decision makers' worldviews. They quantify risk appetite using measures like return on capital employed or ROCE, focusing on the potential shortfall or tail risk for specific performance indicators. Another frontiers involve linking RRM with strategy. Statoil assess how different strategic paths impact various risk categories, emphasizing the need for the decision makers to compare the risk profiles with the investment outlays and expected return during strategic decision making. In summary, Statoil's ERM philosophy embraces dynamic risk management, innovative approach like ERB, the integration of ERM with the strategic decision making, fostering a proactive and comprehensive risk-aware culture within the organization.